Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Trans. I am Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman who, talks about all things horror. And today, for our horror icon journey into the eldritch land of psycho-cosmic horror, we're tackling Pennywise the Dancing Clown, also known as the It from the It franchise. Stephen King's It, more specifically. We're not going to dig into the books. We don't do that. We only talk movies here on this channel. But there's plenty in the movies as well. There are three technically, kind of four movies that represent It. Because the miniseries from the 1990s is actually a two-parter, so it's two parts to one film, technically, because it's a miniseries. And then the recent reboot, reimagining, is two independent films that are interconnected. So a movie and its sequel, direct sequel. But it's basically the same, more or less. So just what we know from the movies, not getting into the book, we know that Pennywise is some type of cosmic entity. We don't know anything beyond that. We know that it feeds on the fear and actual bodies or blood of children. And it sleeps every 27 years. It wakes up to do more killing, and it goes back to sleep. When it's awake, not only does it hunt and murder, eat children, usually young children, prepubescent and below, so not even really teenagers. It goes after kids. It also causes, through its, cosmic magic powers, two things. One, it causes the adults to basically be blind to what it's doing. And two, it also causes, let's just say, ancillary bad things to happen in the community. Like random fires or riots or whatever, whenever it appears. Now, it, to the best of my knowledge, from, again, what we only see in the films, has no true physical form. It is some sort of cosmic light entity that manifests in a giant spider-like monster that uses its cosmic psychic abilities to project the image of a clown that then appears to the children to lure them into its lair, where it can trap them and eat them at its own leisure. Pennywise, likewise, alliteration, uses the same basic premise as Freddy Krueger, in that he feeds on their fears. So Pennywise uses his psychic abilities to project hallucinations onto the teenagers of whatever they're afraid of, to make them taste better, basically. Now, I am not going to necessarily distinguish between the 1990 iteration of Pennywise and the mid-2000s reimagining, because they're basically the same thing. They follow the same template. They're both scary as fuck. And Pennywise, regardless of which version you're watching, is crafty and sadistic and maniacal and manipulative. Those are universal traits across the board in all iterations of it, including the book, but we're, again, not talking the book. This is not a PG YouTube channel, but there's stuff that happens in the book we can't talk about on this channel without getting flagged, probably. And that's all I'm going to say. The book goes places it shouldn't have went. Other than that, Pennywise is one of the scariest horror monsters, because just within the realm of the films, again, nothing we see in the books, nothing beyond the films, he's more or less eternal. He's more or less indestructible and undefeatable. The only way they can defeat Pennywise, or it, is basically to survive it and escape it. There is no killing it. There is no defeating it. It's literally just survive long enough to escape. Those are literally your only options. Or die. So that's it. It is pretty fucking scary. And even if I wasn't deathly terrified of spiders and irrationally terrified of clowns, this movie would still scare the shit out of me. Both versions. Because it's a scary fucking movie. Extra, extra scary if you're scared of clowns or spiders, or like me, both.